Hello there everyone, I hope that you are all doing well inshallah. This is Miss Khalfi, your teacher of methodology of research for this year, semester 1. In this short video, I'll be trying to explain to you what do we mean by the problem statement and how to formulate it. Unfortunately, because of time shortage, I could not record a sufficient video that projects the PowerPoint representation as I usually do. I will talk to you and I need you to follow with me step by step using the PDF that I have sent you. Starting with this idea of problematic, or namely the problem statement to be more specific, it is important to remember that all research is a process. So we are not just doing things just for granted. It is a process that must be respected in order to have good results, satisfactory results. And following the process and following the rules will help you as a researcher later on to write perfectly, and it will facilitate the writing process and research for you. Before starting to speak about the problem statement, for example, you need to first start your dissertation by the so-called background of the study. The background of the study is like an introduction. It is a background that you give on the entire study, not just the chapter or just the specific limited phase in the research. The background of the study gives an overview of the entire subject, the entire topic, and it highlights the way you are going to deal with it or approach it. I need you to remember this keyword. It is very important. The background of the study is very significant. We will try to come back to it in the coming slides. Well, I will read for you this part. You can find it easily in the PDF. The difference between the introduction and the background is that the former only contains preliminary data about the research topic, meaning the introduction, and does not state the purpose of the study. On the contrary, the latter, which is the background of the study, clarifies the importance of the study in detail. So in the background of the study, you are going to mention everything included and not just a short introduction like we used to do in writing essays, for example. Speaking about the research problem, of course, you need to remember two things. Number one, you have to understand your problem. What is your problem? When I ask you, you must be able to identify that your research is a problem that needs solving. And you must be able to explain it and analyze it in simple terms, in simple, meaningful words. Otherwise, there is a kind of mistake or maybe error in your approaching the problematic or the problem statement. You need to know how did this problem came about, what caused it, and how are you going to solve it. So here it should not be ambiguous, it should be clear and easily specified and explained. What is more appreciable here is to always remember, and this is of a higher, major, focal importance, not just for the exam or the test, but for your future dissertations, theses, projects, studies, etc. The problem statement is not a question. Problem statement is never formulated as a question. You are not going to ask a question. you are going to write it as a form of a statement. You are going to state a problem and address it in order for it to be solved and then investigated. So why do we call it the problem statement? Because it is in itself a statement. You are going to state in a number of lines the problem that you see in the topic. And that's why in the test I have provided you with a large amount of number of lines, in order for you to write a statement and not just one question like some of the students have unfortunately done. So remember, it is a statement, it is not a question. It has to be clear and purposeful. Moving to the next slide, please, where you can have the context, the ideal, the reality, the relevance, and objectives and conclusion that I know that most students are still struggling with. I have given you two ways. I have given you the 5 W's in the test in order for you to find it easier. The 5 W's, which are the who, the what, the when, the why, and the where. Here, this technique is easier for you to identify the key terms that can be somehow similar to your title and easily found and let's say identified, pinned down. Okay, when you are writing, you have to pay attention to these 5 W's: the who, the what, the when, the why, and the where. For example, here you have the who, the United States of America; the what, there is homelessness and poverty; the when, during COVID 2020; the why, because it affected the nation economically and psychologically; and there where we have limited this by mentioning the state of Louisiana. Here, this is easy, of course. The table, if you remember from the test, includes two examples, two topics with two tables, if I may say. I have asked you to extract from the title the who, the what, the when, the why, and the where, and find it easy to formulate the research question, the research problem statement. This is the easier way. The more complicated way in doing this is the idea, the larger thing that you will write about in your dissertation, the thing that you need to practice and practice at least twice or thrice in order to maintain. You need to first, for example, before writing the problem statement, you need to mention the context, the background of your study, where in 1 or 2 paragraphs you need to offer a context defining your area of research. For example, if we are speaking about the 19th century poetry, Emily Dickinson's poetry of the 19th century America, the background of the study, the context will be American Civil War era, Puritan age versus Romantic age, where you can speak about this context and how did these types of poem emerge into existence. This is the context. You have to contextualize your study. If you remember the example that you have given with Malcolm X in the classroom, we have spoken slightly about the civil rights movement as a context. What do you know as a context about the topic? Of course, after reading and doing research. In your case, for example, you are in the classroom, you cannot know about everything, especially in the exam or test, but I need you to slightly write anything as far as it is a statement, as far as it is 3 or 4 lines long, something that defines the topic, the context that you choose, of course. And if I give you a title that is already there, or a topic, or a problem statement, and this is how the exam will be, you will need to identify the context in your own simple words. It has not to be specific, but I need correct English and righteous themes to discuss. So you need to mention the context. After that, you need something in 2 sentences or 3 sentences known as the ideal. Remember that we said that the problem statement is an issue that needs to be solved. So, for example, if you speak about the context of, say, the current issue taking place between Palestine and Israel and Gaza, of course, you can say that things all culminated from the Ottoman Empire during the reign of Abdul Hamid Thani, who helped Jews to enter Palestine and gave them privileges, and it is there where they started to plot and concord against the Arabs and Muslims, and decided to take over Palestine. And then, with the help of Britain, the number of Jews and Zionists managed to conquer the Arab land, of course, using religion as their way and as an alibi to colonize. For example, this is a context, this is a background of the study that your reader needs to know about. The ideal, you say, it is known to the world, the ideal, something that should be ideal, perfect. It is known to the world that Palestine must be free, and all the world knows that Palestine is not the land for the Israelites. But unfortunately, the world is silenced by the imposing powers of the West, etc., etc. This is the ideal. And then the reality, which is the things that are taking place nowadays, the problem. In a small paragraph, you introduce and explain the problem and the issue. You say that the culminating, for example, decisions or something like that. It is hard for me to think now. Are really encouraging the Zionists to kill and torture the innocent Palestinians who are unarmed and unable to defend themselves, etc., etc. You are going to investigate an issue and try to find as far as, for example, civilization is concerned here, you need to start to mention the problem that you see as a problem in a statement, not in a question. It is not like, for example, in Arabic or philosophy, we say, what is the problem with what is the causes of that and this? No, we need to give a proper, clear statement of 2-3 lines, a small paragraph where we identify our problem and our issue. You need to mention why is it important, why are you choosing this problem to speak about, why do you think it is important, it needs to be targeted, and you need to clearly mention this in 2 lines or so, and then you mention in 3 sentences, for example, the things you suggest as solutions for this problem, the objectives of your research with this entire topic, with this entire problem, why are you doing this, how are you going to approach it, suggesting solutions, and this is the conclusion of this part of the problem statement, not of the entire research, of course. I hope this is clear. So you have the context, which is the background, the ideal, which is the thing that should be in the first place before the problem occurs, and then you have the problem that you have to choose and speak about. You can, of course, extract this from your title, and remember that you will have 2 types similar to the test. You will have this type of exercise to fill in, and then you have the tables to, of course, extract one topic from. This is all for now, I think, for the problem statement. I hope you find this useful, inshallah. As usual, if you have any question, please contact me on my email or leave a comment on the comment section below. I thank you, and I apologize for the noise. I did my best to find find the spot in order for me to record this, but well, it's always hard at home. Thank you, and all the best on the exam day. Peace.